LexTalk World Talk Show presented by ClickAway Creators and CAC Media and Events. Today, we have Mr. Rodrigo Nuñez Vega with us. He studied law at the National Autonomous University of Mexico, an entrepreneur dedicated to corporate law, legal services, and seeking ways to deliver legal services in easiest and fastest way for over 14 years. Started as paralegal in 2006, where he had to manage more than 14 companies. The lack of control of the information leads him to develop in 2010 a software in the cloud to manage the life cycle of contracts that also was a repository. In 2011, he launched tocontrado.com, mainly to the drafting, negotiation, and revision of all kinds of contracts to small companies. With this project, he received an investment from Startup Factory of USD 10,000 US dollars. During these years, he dedicated himself to understand the client's needs, developing growth strategies for portal, and especially on how to make the delivery of legal services more efficient. In 2009, he joined UnitedLEx as a member of Mexico's delivery center, where he is performing duties as counsel, and currently he is the manager of the Global Delivery Center in Mexico for people in Bulgaria, India, and Mexico, implementing data analysis for the delivery of legal services. Thank you so much for joining us yet again, Rodrigo. I hope you're doing good.
Oh, I'm really fine. Thanks for the invitation. I'm really pleased to be talking here with you. So thanks for everything and that presentation.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show once again, and we see a lot of changes that has happened. So we would love to understand more about how the journey is really going and how we can probably take away some learnings from you as well. And the first thing that we want to know, Rodrigo, here is going to be talking about what led you to focus on provision of digital services, digital legal services rather, and what we know today as digital transformation, if you can tell us about it.
Well, since the beginning, when I started working as a paralegal, I saw this mess within the companies when there was just like managing different companies inside one corporation. So since 2006, I was looking all of this, and I decided that, okay, we need to have some different tools that we may need and we can use for this side, rather than only using like, Excel sheets and different tools that it was like really simple. So I started, that's the reasons in 2010, I started working and designing all this contract management software. It doesn't work as fine, but at the end, all this, my dedication to this digital transformation is because I am always looking for this change and how the things can be delivered in a better way, in a quicker way, in a faster way, so that everything could be more simple for the lawyers. And in the past, there was different tools that may help us, but well, at the end, there was like no tools like was created by lawyers, dedicated, and they were just like focused for lawyers, So for me, it's really important that it's always finding the way to make the things simple, quicker, and faster for the business, for the lawyers, and for the whole team, because at the end, the law department is connected with all the departments, and as soon as we can make all our work a little bit more faster, easier, and that it's more comprehensive for the rest of the teammates on the whole company, it would be better for the whole team, So that's the reason I have been always dedicated to digital transformation, is because in technology, we can find all these tools that will help us and lead us to a better place for all the departments in a company.
That's absolutely right, and that absolutely makes sense. You're right that the legal department, the legal team is connected with all of the departments, and if it could be quicker, faster, and simpler, because at a lot of times we kind of just get stuck with those legal languages, and which might not be that easy for a non-lawyer person, a non-legal person to understand. And if we can make it simpler, it will be easier for them to understand and probably contribute in the right way. So that's absolutely right, and technology can definitely help us do that. So with that, how do companies build a bridge between business and the legal departments? How does that happen?
I think the principal things that for building this bridge between legal and the business is like first part is the communication. You need to understand a little bit more what does legal do. It's not because in the past, legal is was like, okay, the legal is the one that is stopping any commercial issue. We want to sign this contract because we need to do this, and legal is telling us no. So we need to start with a big communication between both sides about the importance of both sides, because I know that we want to sell, we're part of the same team, but at the end also we need to make a risk analysis and a risk assessment about this operation, the customer, and many other things. So I think the first thing to gather all this communication is to build this bridge is having a really good communication between both sides, so and understand the importance of both sides. The next thing is like we need to change the idea that, okay, the business department is like a cost for the company, because it's really normal that many companies think that, okay, a legal department is just like a cost for us, and they are stopping us from making good business and many things like that. So we need to change. We need to make this change management for both sides, from the commercial side and from the legal side. We're on the same team. We want to sell. We need to find a way to do it in a better way. And the other thing is that, okay, how can a legal can give something else to the business? That's the other side of the bridge. Okay, I can give you more. It's not like only from one side to another. I can give you something for you. It could be translated into a reduction of cost. The analysis of a contract can give you, okay, we are having all these mistakes, or we're having litigation on all these points. Okay, let's change the contract, let's change our playbook, the template, so that we can reduce all these problems that we're having, so that we can spend a little bit less on the legal side. We can get an analysis, okay, we're spending so much hours negotiating this contract, so I will give you all this information so that we can reduce the hours that we're spending, so we're going to have less cost. We can give you also all these analysis that coming from the contract management, everything that it's on the life of the contract, giving you all this information about the inputs, problems, and many things that they're having that the business can use from that side. So we have so many tools and so many things that we need, that legal can also give to the business, so they can take better decisions. And that's the important thing. They need to understand that our analysis, because usually lawyers don't make any analysis of the contracts. We usually is like we sign it, we negotiate it, sign it, and just put it in a folder, and that's it. No, we need to analyze the whole process since the beginning until the end of the whole service, and we can give that all that information to the business, so they can take better decisions at the end for the business. So that's the way we need to do it. We need to have better communications. We have to have a bit of change management on that side, and we need to also understand that we can give them back to the business a lot more information to make better decisions, cost reductions, and so many other benefits for the business.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, that's the entire change management that you have kind of just described to us, and that absolutely makes sense in my opinion. Thank you so much on that one. I'll move on to the next quick question that I have for you, and this is where we want to know, what do you think has been the greatest benefit that this digital transformation has brought to the legal world and to the business?
I think the biggest benefits is all this data analysis. It's like we know that in the market in general, for all the companies, the analysis of the big data is something that is really important, because that's the way you can understand all your customers, providers, the people is working for you, because HR is using, marketing is using, commercial is using, everything. So we also need to analyze all the data that we're having from this. So this digital transformation, the use of new tools of contract management, all the tools for the cycle management and everything, it's like giving you, since the beginning, since you start like a new request, and like how many hours or how many times it's taking you to get to the signature of this contract. So during this period, you can see if there is a problem within the legal side, that it's taking too much on the negotiation. You can see if it's the customer that it's taking too much on that side. We can analyze so many information from that side that it's really important. And once you negotiated all these contract management tools that we have right now, it's like also helping you to understand how is the life of the contract during the whole process of the services. It's been proved that we have been reducing the cost for many companies and litigations using contract management. So it's really important, and everything comes from this analysis. So, and these tools will help you to understand the whole process. And these tools can be like, there are many tools, many companies that are selling specific tools for this one, but also, believe me, with some of my accounts that I have right now, I am using Excel sheets just to measure everything. And that's really fine. we can use all this information about how many times you're taking out, how many deviations you're having in this contract, and change the template so that you can reduce the negotiations from, I don't know, 30% of the time between, it's different to close any deal in 30 days than to close it in 15 days. So all these changes that you're having is because of the data analysis, and this digital transformation is helping the legal side to move a little bit from this physical world, because we were just living on the physical world, all the lawyers, everything was physically signed, and everything was stuck in a box, all the contracts, and now everything is like, you have e-signatures, you have all these analysis and the template deviations. We can use artificial intelligence to understand a little bit more the deviations and to help us on the negotiations, and to understand a little bit more of, okay, we're using more this definition, we're always changing this wording on the clause. Okay, let's move and change the whole clause. So all this data is like the important thing of digital transformation. So using this from the legal departments is the things that are the big issue for the whole companies.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, and I can definitely understand. I keep having these discussions with a lot of legal professionals globally, and I keep hearing about these issues. But you're absolutely right. How this analysis, how this digital transformation can really help you, not just to kind of reduce cost, but reduce risk as well, because more litigations, more cases that you have to go through, that definitely increases the risk, and the business risk is there. So if it's not about just the cost, but it's also about business sustainability and reducing that risk, which is very important for any business. All right, thank you so much, Rodrigo, for enlightening us on this. And let me quickly move on to the next question now. And here we want to understand, you have mentioned that data is the new biggest value the legal department can bring to the business. Can you please tell us about a case where the data has had a positive impact on the business?
Yeah, I have a couple of ones. So we have like, okay, we created all these deviation tracker for one of our clients. It was on an Excel sheet. It was a hard work. Also, we need to understand that the legal people, that we don't like to use Excel sheets and track many things, but why it's also part of the change management on our side from the legal department to understand that all this information is going to be really helpful for the rest of the company. So we'll start this tracking deviation, and we can understand, talking with commercial, that okay, we have these three different types of customers right now. So, and they were using the same contract, and using this tracker deviation, we analyzed that okay, the type 1, type A, was okay, they have deviations more on these specific clauses, and this one has different clauses that they are just arguing more on the type B and others on the type C. So we can start working with different templates for each one of these type of customers, because they were negotiating different things. We cannot use the same template. So we created different templates with different options for this one of 2 different customers. And at the end, we reduce the time of negotiation between 35 and 40% of the time. Because at the end, we will just need to focus exactly on the time that, okay, they want to negotiate this, why they want to change this. And we can argue with commercial, okay, we can change this, we cannot change this because the risk assessment, okay. There are so many things that we need to argue, but at the end, we went to a different template for different departments, for the different types of customers. And at the end, the reduction of the time and the negotiations was so big that it was like really amazing for the commercial side and for the business. It's something that come from our side just to understand a little bit more what's happening on that side. And also the commercial, would they learn a little bit more about what's happening and the risk on the side. And that's just for one case. In other cases, I can also mention you real quickly that we have like all this analysis about the time that we're spending on each one of the phases. Okay, we're spending more time because the people is not sending us the right information. Okay, let's implement an intake form. Okay, so implementing this intake form is going to be really useful because we're going to have the whole information. They will need to put the whole attachments and everything that it's specific, that it's mentioned on that intake form. So in that way, we receive the whole information in one place so that we can reduce the time of exchanging emails with the commercial side in 20% on that side. It was the case. So it was like, okay, commercial need to understand we need all these because that's the reason. So they had to do something else for us. So in so many ways, it's like this, as I mentioned, the communication with both sides. We need to understand what their needs. They need to understand the risks that we're analyzing, and putting all this data will help both sides to reduce the time and make the business a little bit more easier and simpler for everyone. So yeah, that analysis, I can give you plenty of examples of how we're using all of these to understand what's the behavior of your customers and where we're having more problems on this side. So yeah, the examples could be a lot.
Absolutely. I have been hearing you as a business, not as a legal professional. So I've been hearing you as a business. And I can definitely correlate with a lot of problems and discussions and issues that you're talking about. Because as a business, at times we know that there is something broken, but what is that? We don't know. And if with the data analysis, with the help of data analysis, if we can find the problem, then you will be able to find the solution, which is right kind of impact onto that particular problem. So that's absolutely right. So in order to find the solution, you first need to know the problem, and the data analysis will help you to know the problem in the right way. All right, so with that, Rodrigo, we come to the end of this quick chat with you. It's again very enlightening and understanding more about the digital transformation and data analysis that you guys are doing for the global legal industry. Thank you so much for sharing all those great insights. It was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Oh, it was my pleasure always to be talking to you. Thanks for the invite, and thanks for everything.
Amazing. So with that, we come to the end of this amazing session. For our viewers, if you like this chat with Rodrigo Nuñez Vega, please go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. Also share this video with your friends, your colleagues who might need such an help. And if you have any more questions that you want to ask Rodrigo, just put them into the comment box below, and we will try to have Rodrigo comment on them as well, and then sharing his insights on your questions. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's Vinay signing off for LexTalk World.